I'm very grateful to you, my daughters, those of you who are scattered over America and other parts of the world. I've been the dreamer. But oh, how wonderfully you have interpreted my dreams.
The blackness. Keep on. Never say die. Keep on.
The African American Experience Fund was founded in 2000. It was a vision of Robert G. Stanton, who at the time was the first and has been the only African American to serve as director of the National Park Service. Our mission is to provide support to African American historic sites around the country.
The principal focus of this was to try to elevate in the minds of the American public that within their national park system are the richness of areas that commemorate the African American experience, which is indeed the American experience.
To be a spokesperson for the African American Experience Fund is really an honor. I feel like I'm an ambassador, and I want to get out there and just spread the word to as many people as I possibly can, starting right here. I'm Bea Smith, and welcome to the Mary McLeod Bethune Council House National Historic Site. Well, when I think back to the women who were my role models, they loved what they did. They liked feeling powerful. They loved educating young people and exposing us to as much as they could expose us to.
Mary McLeod Bethune was amazing. Mary McLeod Bethune was a success story.
She was the 15th of 17 children born to parents who had been emancipated in the state of South Carolina. She also founded the National Council of Negro Women.
The National Council of Negro Women went on to make history from this conference room by facilitating the integration of blacks in the defense program within our school system, and the desegregation of restaurants and theaters right here in our nation's capital.
Preserving her legacy and what she did is an awesome experience for me. It really just makes me feel whole and like I'm contributing to the movement. It really does.
It is critically important that we continue to learn more and to appreciate and to acknowledge the role and the contribution of women and African American women under the care of your National Park Service. There are areas that have been authorized through an act of Congress to recognize various women and their contributions. But if you were to travel to Richmond, Virginia, you see a historic site honoring the legacy of Magdalena Walker, just an outstanding humanitarian, an outstanding business leader, founder of the first bank by any woman.
The contributions that African Americans have made to this country and where we are today, many of those stories are either untold or undertold. For example, I know a lot about women in history, but it wasn't until I came into this position that I learned about Maggie L. Walker.
Well, Magdalena Walker is known best for being the first African American woman to found a bank. And in 1903, she founded a bank and was president of that bank. She is so much more than just that little soundbite.
I went to Magdalena Walker's house for the first time in October when we went to ASALH, Association for the Study of African American Life and History's annual conference in Richmond. And when I walked onto that space, I was again like, wow, we as a black woman in this time period had a space this large, this grand, and not putting too much value on the space, but more what she chose to do with her life, what she chose to do with her resources. And then I was impressed. It may be, you know, shallow or silly, but I was like, she had an elevator.
As I walked through the site with Agina, the site manager there, and she told the stories of success, of tragedy, of just her day-to-day experience, it had such an amazing impact on me. It's like I could feel the presence of Maggie Walker as I walked through that house.
And what she did by developing her organization and creating work, creating jobs, creating professional jobs for African American women in a time of, again, of segregation and Jim Crow. Those words that she used and supposedly even said on her deathbed, have faith, have hope, have courage, carry on.